Alright, so what we're working on here is a 99 Honda Accord EX. It's got the V6 automatic. And I'm changing out the fan. And a little bit of detail about the fan is that it worked, it just didn't spin enough, so it got hot. Alright, so you have to look on, this is the cooling fan, okay? Now for the air conditioner, yes, it's the one on the passenger side, on this side, okay? The AC wouldn't get cool enough and whatnot, and then whenever I looked at it, it wasn't spinning that well, so that's kind of what the deal is. We're changing it out. All right, so I had ordered just the fan motor by itself. Okay, I was trying to save money, and I ordered this fan motor, the Four Seasons motor, off of Amazon. It's like 40 bucks, and the arbor for the motor was a little bit, the size of it was just a few millimeters too big and it wouldn't fit, so I tried to make it fit. What you'll need is a 10 millimeter, something like this, okay? And on the bottom of this fan assembly, there's a one bolt down here, okay? And it goes into a slotted thing, and of course this came in the mail and it's all bent up. So just try to straighten that out the best you can. You'll see what I'm talking about when I get this out. So what you want to do is you have a few things to move out of the way. This is the cruise control, and then you've got the plug for the fan here. If I can get it out. I've got some zip ties in the way, so let me get rid of some zip ties. Alright, so this is one of the connectors here, and this is the power wire. Alright, these are the two power connectors. Now, the connector for the fan has a little doodad on the back that clips it onto this clip here, and you have to lift it up to get it off. So they've done a whoopsie-doo on that one. But you know, I just haven't been making very many videos lately. We went on vacation, went to Colorado and New Mexico and Carlsbad Caverns, and went all kinds of places, camping and things. And you know, we made it the whole time without getting sick, and nobody was showing any symptoms of COVID or anything. We got back, everybody got it. So that bottom bolt, you'll have to reach down here really low and kind of feel around with this short 1/4-inch drive socket. This is really the only way to do it. I mean, you can do it from below, but you'd have to remove that panel down there, and there's just a lot of things. So usually the way I do it is I stick my arm down in here, and my arm ain't little. It's a good one. So of course my wrench doesn't want to cooperate right now. Come on, baby. Okay, so I got it to go one way. Let's get it to go. There we go. Get it to go the other way. You don't have much room, but once you get it loose, then you can spin it with your fingers. Or at least most of the time you can, if it's not all corroded and nasty. So anyway, so we spent quite a bit of time messing with all being sick, and I got a new dog, new puppy dog, a boxer. Her name is Nebula, and she's not here. She's not out right now. All right, so after you stick your arm in there, hopefully you don't ding yourself too much. Take all these screws out. Now there's one more connector that you'll have to mess with after all this, because it's in a tricky spot and it's hard to get to. So I always just wait till I get it loose like this, and I stick my hand down next to it, which no one can probably see this, but it's always going to be a tricky job doing this one every single time. I don't know why Honda put a connector like this on the side of the fan. I guess it's the only place. Let me reach in there and get it. I'll have to pause this for a minute. All right, so that one goes on the side here. It's a bear to get out. This is what it looks like. And you have to get in there and pull that up. You have to pull this thing up like this to get it to slide out. Once you get it moving, it's done, but until then it's just a job. It's just something you got to deal with. And I don't connect this till after I get the fan about part way in. But there's that bolt at the bottom. Okay, just give it a little slack. When you get that new one, you'll slide it right in. You have to feel it with your hand. Now, if you want to mess around and take this pan off the bottom and do all that, you can go ahead and do that, but that's not how I do it. But that's what it looks like. That's the old fan. And of course, I changed out the motor and got it all nice, but I had to clearance the fan a little bit because the shaft was the wrong size. This shaft right here was too big. This fan wouldn't fit. It's probably an aftermarket fan. It's not the original. The Four Seasons motor that I got was probably made for the original, so we'll just throw that somewhere because I done wasted a lot of time on that. So here's our new one right here. I'll have to get a zip tie for that. Just look at all these things and figure out what needs to be bent around and all that business. Of course, they put all these stickers on here, and these stickers are on the bottom, so obviously whoever put it on there has no idea. But yeah, so that's kind of how it looks, how it goes. Let me get this thing and slide it in there. I'm sorry about the glare from the sunlight, but that's how it is in Texas. The sun is really bright. So what I do is I get the new fan and I slide it down in there, and I get it down so that I can scoot it over a bit so I can get my hand in here. And then I click on and I click that AC compressor clutch wire onto the side down there. Once you get it clicked, that's it, you're done. You click that on, and then you can look down from the top right here and look at that bolt on the bottom. Slide it in. Try to. Just kind of feel around. Because this one here was bent up pretty good, so I might have to mess with that a little bit. Alright, so I got it all in there and I'm looking at it down from the top. I mean, this thing is just bent all to hell. So you might have to adjust things a little bit. I mean, whoever shipped it, they just threw it in a box, you know, and sent it. So we'll just do the best we can with what we got here. Get this thing bolt in there. See, those little nuts, they kind of float in there. So when you push the bolt in there, sometimes it gets a little slack in it. And this thing is bent a little bit, so it changes the way it's supposed to fit. And I don't mind all that. Just changes how I make a video, right? It's not all clean and step by step. I just kind of grabbed this thing and shoved it on here. Probably should have looked at it a little more. Let me go get something and adjust this some, because you can see how far off it is. Okay, so what we have here is a situation that I didn't expect, but that's kind of how it goes. When they sent me this in the box, it was just floating around. and it is bent all crazy. And as you can tell before, I was trying to get this to fit on the radiator, and I couldn't get it to bend good, so I took it apart. And I thought, well, I'm not going to waste any time with this. The old one fit on there just fine, and it's not all bent up. So I took it all apart and just put the old fan housing with the new fan and new motor, because really that's all we need. And we just need this thing to work. So I'm going to get it taped up. It's a little different, so I have to tape it instead of zip it. All right, so here's the end result. You know, I got it on here, and of course it doesn't have a loop to zip tie it here. There is a hole there, but I don't prefer to use that type of connection, so I taped it, and I wire tied it there with some Teflon wire tie. All right, so it has this vinyl tube, plastic tube that covers it, and I left a drain here, okay, right there, so that if water gets in through the top, right here at the top, it's not sealed, it'll have a place to drain out. I learned this the hard way on my Mercedes. My Mercedes has this vinyl tube everywhere. It's all taped up, and it fills up full of water. So I had to untape the ends and blow it out with compressed air because it was a mess, right? So let me get this thing stuck on there. And that old Mercedes it's a 1985 300D little turbocharged thing, which doesn't matter a lot because it's just a wimpy thing, but that sucker sure does run good. No computers or nothing. You have to mess with none of that stuff. And it does things like break down in the middle of nowhere. With didn't drive it. I don't drive it much during the summer because the AC doesn't work. So it set, and it decided that it wasn't happy about setting and wouldn't start. So I think the starter solenoid went out or some craziness. So I'll have to mess with that here in a bit. Get this thing, get it lined up. Can't see anything because the sunlight's so bright. There we go. I think that's it right there. A couple of bolts in there. No more bent up mess like we had before. It was really bent bad. And I was afraid that it would set on this radiator and expand and contract, being bent, and cause the plastic radiator top to have problems. We don't want to do that. So anyway, I'm going to click the rest of these all together here and call it good for a video, because there's not really much else to see plugging in some plugs and me talking. Nobody wants to hear me talk too much. So anyway, hope this helps somebody. Y'all have a good day. Please subscribe, leave some comments, ask some questions, all that kind of good stuff. Have a good day.